Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back. Mike Learns Poker Hand of the Day. April Fool's Day. Let's see how foolish I look in this one. I had pocket kings against a massive all in, and I'm really dying to know if I played it right. So let's check it out. All right, so last night I played this hand, and so we were pretty late in the tournament, not at the bubble. Actually, we may have been after the bubble. Kind of in that weird stage where you've gotten into the money but the ICM pressure isn't significant yet because the pay jumps are like teeny tiny, and um, like the tournaments I've been playing in lately are $11 buy-ins. So the difference between some of these prize levels is like $18 or $23, $23 or $25. Like who cares? So it's not significant ICM pressure. You can see I am sitting pretty with pocket kings, 48 bigs, third in chips at the table, but you can see there's a lot of short stacks too, um, which is great. Like I'm I'm feeling really good about my opportunity here um, to continue building a stack, run really deep, which I did. I got 17th, I think, in this tournament, but I wanted to see if I played this hand right because this opponent put me in a really interesting spot. So here's the scenario. Villain has 23 bigs, and they raise from under the gun. So you can see their range is very tight. A lot of big aces, suited aces, some suited kings, a lot of Broadway type stuff. Fives and better. I don't think they're raising fives a lot, but I'd say like sevens and better. Pocket sevens and better. So I'm in the cutoff with kings. I guess I had two questions here. Well, no, I had one question here. I have two questions overall in the hand, but this is one of my questions. Was my raise size appropriate? Because I did five. Um, and this is something Coach and I have been working on because I was raising too big. And what that was doing was it was getting people to fold all their trashy hands that I'm ahead of. So I want to entice action. I also want to entice bluffs if they feel like getting cute or if they want to read weakness into a smaller raise, then fine, go for it. So I did screw up the sizing. I raised to five. I'm supposed to raise to six. I don't think it makes a huge difference, but that was not technically correct. So everyone else folds and under the gun decides to call. We go to a flop, which is about as bad as it could be for my hand. I've seen worse flops, but this is pretty freaking terrible. Ace 2 9, all spades. I have no spade. That is a very important fact. Under the gun decides to check, as they should with most of their holdings. And with kings, I really was not sure what to do here. And my thinking at the time was if this person has a lot of ace X hands in their range, which they do, let's go back to their range pre-flop, their calling range. Oops. See all these aces right here? And then they have these aces. So they don't have a ton, but they definitely have some aces. And they also are going to have some spades, like a lot of one spade hands, I think. Um, so betting did not feel like a good idea because even if they don't have a better hand, it's going to be pretty hard for me to navigate like a raise here. What the hell am I supposed to do? So kings is supposed to bet at a pretty high frequency. I think easier to bet if you have a spade, obviously, which we don't. You can see that here. So bet 75% of the time ish with a spade. And then when you don't have a spade, you're checking a little more. So it's 50-50. So I like to check and be a little more cautious. Then a brick comes out, seven of hearts. And this is where it gets really weird. Opponent goes all in. GTO Wizard gives me the standard line. I don't know what the hell to do. Yeah, yeah. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. So as I'm thinking through this hand, I'm like, okay, there's a decent amount of aces that might do that. But if you had an ace, what are you worried about? I guess you're worried about me having a spade and not wanting to get drawn out on. And then I also was thinking, and maybe this is where I screwed up, but I was like, man, how often does this person have? Let's look at their range. How often do they have this stuff? Sevens with a spade, eights with a spade, nines with a spade, tens with a spade, um, jacks with a spade, king queen off with one spade. Like, would you just shove those? I don't know. Maybe. So I just felt like I was ahead of too many combinations of hands, then I just had to call it off. Let's see if GTO Wizard agrees. Although we're getting that warning again that GTO Wizard's like, I don't know what to do here because this is so outside of optimal play. Call with a spade, fold without, which makes sense now. Even if I did luck myself into a call against like queens, jacks, tens, eights, sixes with a spade. They don't have sixes with a spade. There's probably too many combinations of an ace that I lose to. So I ended up calling and losing ace jack with a jack of spades. Um, I don't think Villain had to play it that way. They still would have probably gotten paid, but it worked because I paid them. So that sucked. That sucked. I should have folded. Sometimes a pretty starting hand just shrivels up in a hurry and you just got to let it go. So missed a spot there. Cost me half my stack. Bummer. Learn from it. All right, y'all. Let's stop there. I'll see you next time.